Yes, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
But I love this fucking city. I keep repeating myself today.
Yeah, he keeps saying that.
And it's been...
We drove down the strip. He told us about stealing credit cards, or no, you ran out of money.
I flew out here with like $20,000, and like this was early on. This is before I even really started making a lot of money. This is when I was still carding. I was still actually like physically going in the stores and like carding shit. So this was real early on. And I flew out here and I had about 20 grand, and it was like my first time ever coming to Vegas, like, you know, like on my own, with money, like with my big boy pants on, you know. And I came out here and I ran through the money in like 3 days or 4 days, real fast. And when I came out, I flew out one-way ticket, and I didn't know, because I didn't know how long I was going to be here, you know what I mean? I was just going to hang out or whatever. I'm like, I got 20,000, you know, gone fast. You know what I mean? Between the hookers and the cocaine and the fucking casinos, this city will chew you up and spit you out. If you've never been here before and you just show up with a bunch of money and you don't really know much about fucking the world, you know what I mean? I'm street smart, but I wasn't prepared for this out here, you know. So in 4 days it was gone. A couple hookers got a hold of me and it was over with. Fucking, yeah, they drained all the money. We were getting high in a fucking hotel room for 3 or 4 days. And I came out with my pants falling off me because I had lost fucking weight. You know what I mean? I was fucking shacked up with some fucking prostitutes, dude. And I didn't even have money to fly home on the plane. So I had to actually call my little brother, and I had to have him get some cards that I had already printed up that were in my safe. And I had to have him overnight them to me UPS, so that I could go to Walmart and Target here in Vegas and card PlayStations and put them on Craigslist to get cash to get back home. So I was in those little roach motels over there off of Flamingo. Fucking, I don't know if they're there anymore. They were like 10 years ago. They were there 10, 11 years. This is probably more than 10 years ago. This is probably like 15 years ago. And I was in one of those little roach motels off of Flamingo, and I had like 5 or 6 PlayStations in the fucking room with me on the bed. And I was just on Craigslist on my phone, just sitting there waiting. And I didn't even have money for the hotel the next night. So I had this list of them, and I had to wait for somebody to buy a fucking PlayStation just so I could pay for the hotel that night, so I could sell more PlayStations so that I could get a plane ticket so that I could fly back to Florida.
Hold on. I gotta get some water. Where's my water? I have water. Oh, there it is.
Straight out of the tap.
Straight out of the tap.
It's alright. It's Vegas, man. They pipe all this water in anyway. So
it's all pumped in from California, right? Are they draining that fucking place dry?
No, they got a drought going on right now. It's like super dry out there. The Colorado River's at its lowest point it's ever been in like recorded history. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's accurate. I may have read that somewhere in a headline, and now I'm just regurgitating that fact to make myself seem informed and intelligent.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I don't know what's wrong with this.
I don't know what you did to it. Look how crisp mine is. Crisp.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not worried about it. So we're here. We came here
in Las Vegas
to shoot some videos because I'm here to go on a podcast with Ryan Pineda, which is a real estate guy.
I actually just came out to tag along and shoot video and shoot some shit for my channel while I was here.
How long was your flight?
It was 40 minutes, and it cost me $80.
Jeez. I had to change planes. I sat between.
No.
Oh, I sat.
You had a layover?
Listen, I had a layover. I sat between these 4 or 5 horrible little kids.
No way.
Oh yeah. There's one by the window. His grandmother's with him. There's another one over here. There's 2 in front. There's one kid behind me kicking the seat. A little girl. Her father has no control over her. I mean, oh my gosh. It was the worst. So.
What airline did you fly with?
Spirit.
There you go.
Spirit.
Yeah. See, I don't go with the budget airlines anymore. I can't. Listen, I made a whole video, I don't know if you watched it, about the Frontier Airlines flight I was on.
Right.
It was the most insane thing. It was like being on a Greyhound bus, but we're in the sky. And are these pilots even qualified to fly this fucking plane? Because literally the flight attendants were like dollar store fucking workers. Like their uniforms were just all disheveled, and they looked like they had just smoked some weed, rolled out of bed, and came to work as fucking flight attendants here at fucking Frontier Airlines. I swear to God, it was crazy. It was the most unprofessional experience I've ever had on an airline here in the United States. Now I've been on some airlines down in Mexico that were, but you just expect that down there. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
I was gonna say I have a buddy.
They bring chickens on the planes and shit down there. No joke.
I have a buddy that flies for Spirit. By the way, he's okay. Like he can fly,
I'm sure.
and he'll tell you they're tough. It's this rock bottom. He's like he's like things will go wrong in the plane, and he said that you're supposed to mark down at the end of the flight, like, hey, this is wrong. But you also have to fix those things. He goes, now if you say they're right and they're fine, and you get off the plane and the next guy figures it out, now it's his problem. It's like, so you'll get on a plane and immediately you realize something's wrong. You're like, there's no way that the other pilot didn't know this. And so anyway, but yeah, he said they're rock bottom.
Dude, did you see that fucking the video of that flight from, it was Colorado to Hawaii, and the whole the skirt that's around the engine like broke off and went into the engine, and the engine just burst into flames and was just shredded, and somebody's literally shooting cell phone video out of their fucking window, and the engine's just doing like this, and it's on fire. And they're like gonna make it, and the masks are down, they're making emergency landing. This was just like a couple months ago. No joke.
Ooh, what airline?
It was American or fucking Southwest, one of them. It was one of the big ones.
Listen, so...
And that's not the first time that happened to one of those planes. It's fucking like a common problem with that plane. So now, in my mind, I know all the planes by heart. Like, the A322 fucking Airbus, the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I know all the planes. So now I know the ones that have issues. So, like... And I know, like, when they book my itinerary, I look and see what the plane is, because they give you the model number of the plane, and I'll rebook my flight to a different plane if that plane has been known to fucking have mechanical failures. I'm fucking Rain Man. Yeah. And when I fly, I'm like Rain because I do it so fucking much. Also, I have to have the same seat on the plane every flight. If I don't get that seat, I book another flight as well.
I've heard you say this before.
I do. I have to have either fucking 14A on the fucking the 332 Airbus because it's right behind the exit row on the left wing, or I have to have 17G if it's a fucking...
Why?
An A40. I don't know. It's just... My skin feels like it's going to crawl off my bones, dude, if I don't get that seat. You know what I mean? It's like, I just feel comfortable. I'm right on the wing, and if the plane crashes, the wings are full of fuel, and I'm going first. So I'm going to die immediately if the plane crashes. Immediately. I'm going to be the first one to go.
You want to go first?
I do, yeah.
You don't want to survive?
No, because you're not going to survive that long, and it's going to be horrible. You know?
It's like...
I want to be the first one to go.
Whenever I talk to somebody...
That's comforting for me. That's the only way I can fly, knowing that if I get that seat, I'm going to be the first one to die in the airplane. That's the only comforting... That's how I fly.
See,
That's how I fly and sleep like a baby on the plane.
I've always thought, like, when you ever hear people talk about, like, a nuclear, like, World War III, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, or zombie apocalypse.
Dude, I would like to be on picture this. I would like to be on an airplane, and all you're seeing are nuclear bombs going off while you're flying above the clouds, and you're just looking out your window, and all you're just, and you're just watching all these fucking nuclear bombs going off.
If you're lucky,
could you imagine?
If you're lucky, you're hit by one because you don't want to survive that.
Dude, that would be an EMP. It would take the plane. Wouldn't you imagine? Right?
You don't want to survive a nuclear holocaust. It would be horrible. Dude, everything would break down. I'm
gonna build a shelter, dude. I'm gonna build a bomb fucking. You think? Listen, you should see my Pinterest, motherfucker. I got entire folders dedicated to my goddamn fallout shelters and electrical systems and, you know, recycling rainwater and fucking... Telling you, bro. Wait till I get a little bit of money, goddamn it. I'm burying a couple shipping containers in the goddamn ground.
Have you ever seen the TV show Survivors or something? No,
Doomsday Preppers.
Yeah,
of course.
There's a guy who's got like 40 of them out in the middle of the desert. Everything's run on solar. He can grow his own food. He's got tons of
dude, he knows what's up.
Or he's got his thing is like.
And I'm not even saying like I want to build.
Where did he come up with the money to get all this? Like a normal person can't do this.
There's some kind of grift going on, huh?
Something's going on. They never explain that. He's
cheating his taxes.
He's some big fat redneck, and it's like, where did you get the money to do this? Like you didn't earn this working at your welding job.
Dude, it's
something happened.
You'd be surprised, dude. Some of the old rednecks, dude, will just sell a couple acres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, though they got hundreds of acres they just inherit, they'll just burn a couple acres every year and just sell a couple and live off that fucking money every year until fucking everything's gone down to nothing. Until they get like a big harvest in and then they fucking pay off loans and all that shit. I came from Midwestern Americana fucking farm culture, dude. I know all about it. I did. I actually lived on. We didn't put this in the book, and I never really talked about it with you. But I remember when I was younger, I lived on a farm. It was my family farm. It was so when my family came here from Poland in like 19. I want to say it was like during the right at the beginning of World War II. They migrated here from Poland, and apparently they had a bunch of money and they bought a lot of land in Michigan, and they owned a farm which my great-grandfather had, and then my grandmother was born on that farm, and then my grandma got married and then moved off the farm, but the farm got passed to somebody else in the family, and then it changed hands a few times, but it ended up coming back to us, and then I lived on the farm with my aunt and my uncle and my little brother when I was a kid. And I remember the roosters waking me up every morning when the sun was barely coming up, and you know, like when the sun starts to crest, you see that golden fucking roosters in the morning, straight up, dude. Every morning I used to wake up to roosters. It was wild. I remember that. It was a good memory. It's one of the better memories I have of my life. For some reason, it was just like comforting. You know, the sun coming through the window. I'm in like this old 150-year-old farmhouse, second floor. Here.
What did you smoke when you went outside?
Dude, I've been smoking good. Haven't I been smoking good since I've been here? I've been rolling fucking joint. Well, because I bought only about an eighth, but you know, I can't take it back on the plane with me, so I gotta smoke it all while I'm here. So I'm just, nobody here smokes but me, so, which is cool. So I get to just smoke joints like cigarettes and fucking mob around Vegas while you guys are, you know, doing boring stuff.
Oh my god! You know what time it is? For me, it's 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock in the morning right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I tried to sleep on the plane. Kid was kicking me. And then, by the way, when I mentioned it to Tyler, I was like, man, he booked me on Spirit. When I asked him, I said, what airline did you fly in on? He was like, Delta. And I go, I said, well, I was on Spirit. And I mean, you know, he doesn't take Spirit. He doesn't fly Spirit with the commoners. He looked at me like,
with the peasants?
I was like, how come you don't book yourself on Spirit? He's like, he looked at me like, you serious?
Delta first class, Delta business class. I got fucking. That's funny.
Now what else? You know what the problem is? All the good stuff we talk about, like you can't talk.
I don't want to talk about it on camera.
You never want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it on camera. All the good stuff. I know, because it's like, you know, this is all going to be online, and you know, it's going to be a catalog of stuff for people to go back and look at, and like some stuff.
So you'll never be able to run for president?
I mean, city council at most. Could you imagine? In my 50s, why not?
Yeah,
this is going to be a bold new world out there.
You can always look back when people say, "Oh, you can say, hey, that was 15 years ago or 30 years ago. Then I made some money. Then I started this. Then I started that." You know, I didn't live. I always loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was like, when he ran, he said, "Whoa," he said, "I didn't live my life expecting to be running for governor." Okay. Because they had pictures of him smoking pot and drinking and doing all kinds of, you know, he used to take chicks out in the wood. Did you ever see Pumpin' Iron?
No.
Oh, it was great.
Is it a porn?
No.
Right?
It's him working out. It's all how, like, this is like he'd already won, like, God, he won like 5 or 6 Mr. Olympias, and he goes and he it's like his 6th or 7th one, and this film crew follows him around, and I mean he's talking about, you know, he's sleeping with all these different chicks, he's doing all this different stuff, he's smoking pot, he's drinking, you know, that was a big deal. He's drinking, he's doing all kinds of stuff. They would take a weight set and go out in the middle of the woods with a couple of chicks, and they would bang the chicks, work out, bang the chicks, work out. I mean, he's a maniac, and he was so cocky. I mean, just great. At one point, he's talking to Lou Ferrigno, who was bigger than him, way bigger. And he goes, so he says to Lou, they have, just before the competition, right? That night, he says,
"It's gonna be an issue.
I mean, it's gonna blow a little bit. You could. This is, you know. Look, it's gonna be fine." He's like, "It's fine."
All right.
He goes to breakfast with Lou Ferrigno before the competition, and Lou's like, his dad is sitting there going, "Oh, he's bigger. Lou's bigger than you, Arnold. He's tougher. He's stronger. He's this. He's that." And Arnold's going, "He's amazing. He does. He looks amazing. He's phenomenal. You're bigger. You're stronger. You're this. You look great. You look phenomenal. You're the better. You're the better bodybuilder, Lou." And he's like, and Lou Ferrigno's like, yeah. He goes, Arnold goes, "You know, you just mistimed your diet. I mean, if the competition was in 5 days from now, you'd win. You just mistimed it. That happens." And he just was like,
"What do you mean?"
He mistimed his diet. Like he didn't lose enough weight. So he's like, "You're perfect, except you're like a week away from being able to win." And he's like, and so Lou Ferrigno you can see it in his face. Immediately you see in his face, he's just like depressed.
Thanks, I'm done, dude. Yeah, I'm not for this one.
What happened?
His mouth's dry.
No.
My mouth is dry.
But what's funny about it is, listen, Arnold was so cocky, he had already called up his mother and told her he won.
Arnold did?
Yeah, that's what he said in the thing he was. And so he just completely he mind fucks Lou Ferrigno over. It's a great video. I mean, it's a great documentary. Pumping Iron. Probably there's a Pumping Iron video, porn somewhere. So what was it? The update with Jess?
What if there was a porn with Lou Ferrigno and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and it was called Pumping Iron? And it was shot in like 78. Could you imagine all the bush, dude? Holy shit. You see the tranquility we have now for filming? Way better. Way
Because the
better.
AC was on? I know.
Yeah, but now it's,
You know, you can click on Final Cut Pro, you can click like, you know, to reduce the...
Dude, I edit everything in LumaFusion. I don't even have Final Cut Pro.
I don't know what that is.
It's on my iPad.
I don't edit anything at all anyway.
I know,
at
man.
all,
You
because
lucky
now
bastard.
Colby does it.
Dude, I don't
Colby's
mind
sleeping
editing.
right now because...
You know why? Listen, I don't mind editing, because here's why I don't mind editing. I fuck up a lot in my videos, and I have to stop and I have to repeat myself, and I have to stop and I have to repeat myself. And there's certain angles or facial expressions or like body language that only I would know that I want to keep, that I wouldn't want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when you sub that out to someone else, you're giving all of the creative control to them to frame and all of that stuff. And I don't think I ever want to do that. Like I think I always want to edit all my own fucking podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm a nut with the quality control and the whole creative process. Like I don't think I would ever want to give that up, unless I was going to somebody was paying me like $100,000 a year and I'm just going to show up at a studio and do podcasts. Now that would be, if there's anybody out there that wants to pay me $100,000 a year to come to a studio and just fill podcasts, I'll do 10 a day. I'll work 100 hours a week. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you just have to talk.
That's it. I just sit there and run my mouth like an idiot, like I do anyway.
That's pretty much how I feel. I'd do that.
I do it.
And your channel just got monetized?
Yeah. Yeah, sure did. I finally hit all my benchmarks for monetization.
You're
Start getting paid on all my videos now.
You know what's good about that is that what's good about that is now YouTube will push your stuff more.
Because they have incentive to now.
Yeah. Yeah, now they're incentivized, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't notice that before.
And
hear the AC? Wait, what's that one noise?
Probably the refrigerator or something, yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Because of the engagement I have with my subscribers, I think it's all good for the algorithm. And I think when the algorithm finally kicks in and it picks up my channel, it's just gonna go ham. This guy fucking yawning over here.
I mean,
How old are you? 52.
I'm 51.
51. Okay.
I'll be 52 in July.
Gotcha. July what?
We were talking about that earlier.
I almost had you.
No,
Mine's February 6th, but it's on my YouTube and it's on my Wikipedia page. So.
Yeah, mine's July 2nd. Yeah, that was good. Interesting. That conversation. That was one of those conversations that.
If somebody would have been like in the back seat shooting that with like a third camera or something, or just like somebody like a third wheel sitting there with a camera shooting the whole conversation.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Listen, I got a little cousin. Her name's Brookie. And when I flew out to California, I put like in this fucking Samsung phone with a good camera on it, on a gimbal, and I gave it to her. And I says, listen, we're going to the beach and you're going to shoot all the fucking B-roll.
Right.
And she did. And she was good at it. Like, she took direction. She's like, okay, what am I going to do? I was like, okay, well, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to walk this way. And when I'm walking this way, I want you to slowly walk around me like this with the gimbal. And she was like, okay. And she would do it. And she's like, okay, but she'd be like, wait, well, the sun's this way, so can we stand this way and do it? I'm like, okay. And we'd get different shots. We'd do it like 3 or 4 times. I'm just saying. You know, and she'd probably do it for free.
Yeah. What? Wait. Does she live near me?
She lives in Huntington Beach, California.
Well, I mean, I might. I don't know if I'm going to edit this one. I might edit this one.
Do you want to know we're leaving the shop?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I am no longer tattooing at the tattoo shop there.
What happened? It's just the podcast and stuff.
I want to be able to kind of have the freedom to do whatever I want to do, and you know, tattooing's been my life for as long as I can remember. You know, it's been the only thing that I've ever really given a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? It's like I used to live and fucking sleep and breathe tattooing. It's all I did. You know, that was my culture. I always wanted to be a part of that world. I always wanted to be in a tattoo shop. I always wanted to fucking hang out with those people. And then it happened. Like one day, it just became fucking my everyday thing, and I was happy for a long time. But then now it just kind of feels like a job now. You know what I mean? Like the fun isn't in it anymore for me. You know? Like it feels like like when I have to go to a tattoo shop and I just sit there all day long and I'm not tattooing, like I'm just like, if I don't have any appointments, I have to just wait for walk-ins. Right. And if nobody comes in for a tattoo, I'm literally just sitting there all day long. And I can just sit there all day long and not do anything and stare at the wall, and that's fine, and nobody tells me to like pick up a mop or anything. Right. Which I'm cool. I like that. Right. That aspect of it's fucking pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but me, you know, me actually having to waste all that time.
Yeah, but you're not making any money when you.
I'm not making any money, and I feel like I'm just wasting all that time where I could be doing other things. You know. So now I got a.
You could edit videos. Right.
I can edit videos and I can do, you know, other YouTube shit like tags and fucking work on thumbnails and all that shit. Yeah, I can, but you know.
Yeah, but I thought the issue was also if you have to go on a podcast, like you're constantly saying, hey, tomorrow I can't be here. Hey, next Tuesday I gotta leave for 3 days.
It's getting. I mean, and I can understand from like a business owner's perspective. You know what I mean? So it's like I always gotta take off for weeks and days at a time, and it's just like.
Yeah, your boss like needs some. He wants someone that's going to be there every day.
It's like a job, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel it. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, but
it's just not working.
No.
So what are you gonna do about tattooing? You keep tattooing?
I mean, I'm gonna keep tattooing, dude. But you know, I got a I rented a second office in the building where I have my studio for my podcast. And I'm just gonna set all my stuff up in the second room, and I'm gonna do all my painting, and all my art, and all my fucking tattooing in the one office, and then I'm gonna film all my podcast, edit all my video, and you know, do all my social media shit from the other one.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just how it's gonna go for right now, and that's gonna give me the freedom to say I have a client that I have to do a tattoo, like a 5-hour tattoo on, but then I know I have to shoot a podcast that night too. All I gotta do is walk out of one office and into the other one. You know what I mean? And I can fucking finish one thing and do the next. I don't have to drive fucking 40 minutes and, you know what I mean, get all settled in. It's like, you know, it's just really optimizing my life at this point. And that's like the only thing I'm focused on is like optimization.
We're gonna talk about your new co-host.
He doesn't want to play anymore.
No, no, I'm saying what's that? Yeah, what about the Scottish guy? Is he Scottish or Irish?
He's from Scotland.
All right.
Oh, I wish I could get him on a fucking FaceTime video right now for the podcast.
Shoot, isn't he sleep? What time is it for you?
No, it's only midnight. He'll be up. I don't know if I can do it though. Well, all of our devices are being used because let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ineptitude of everybody in this fucking hotel room right now. How about that? Because I'm not excluding myself. I'm including myself.
Why don't we do
we were all like, it was like the fucking Three Stooges, and everybody was fucking playing with those cups with the fucking peanut underneath it.
Why don't we? Do you want to do that here? Or you want to cut it and do that for another video?
We can just cut it out of this one.
Right, but I was gonna stop all of them and try and figure out what's going on with this camera, because your face is black in this camera at this point. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's worse now than it was before. Like we gotta
just keep rolling and fuck with it, and we won't edit none of this shit out. We'll use it all. We'll use all this.
But I'm saying the nice thing about it right now is that you can take them and just stack them. At this point, you can stack. The moment we turn off one of the devices,
this is like a blooper reel.
No.
Right here. This is why we gotta keep it going. This is like bloopers for fucking. And when we'll just cut in some of that music.
We gotta stop the video. We have to stop it. Let me stop them and figure out
what's. Man, I don't want to fucking start. Whatever.
It's just yeah. All right.